What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles, and we're back with the $1,500 motorcycle. You guys saw the video. First time I ran out of gas. Second time what happened was the fuse block. Took it to the shop. They said these things have a goofy fuse block. Sometimes they go bad. That's what happened. They fixed it. We're good to go. I'm pumped to drive this bike. And I'll tell you the truth, I kind of fell in love with this bike. Alright guys, let's start today like we should. Philippians 4:7. And this is the reason why people said I broke down the first time, because I didn't read my Bible verse. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Now, I don't believe in, like, you know, if you didn't do this, then you're not going to get this. It sounds just kind of a little more superstitious and relational. But all right, so this choke lever is broke. It's kind of tough to do, but there we go. Turned it off. Okay, so one thing, it's a cheap bike. It's gonna be one of the cheapest bikes. I don't think we sell bikes cheaper than 1,500 bucks, unless it doesn't work. And sometimes we do that. The great thing about this bike, it's got good tires, and it actually runs really good, and it's got a lot of potential. There's only one painted surface on it, that's the tank. So if you wanted to make the bike a different color, you just paint the tank. But the best thing about it is, you buy a bike like this, you learn how to ride. What's nice is it's got a real stiff like throttle spring, so it's not like, you know, super, you know, it's harder to get to really roll into it, which is nice. Going to be for beginner, but it's going to be good for a beginner. But it's also got a decent amount of power, like I'm going to show you up here. It's going to be epic. Another thing I want to tell you, this bike is comfortable. This is just a good riding bike. It's kind of like cafe style, where my knees are in front of my feet. But this seat is, I mean, they don't make seats like this because they look dumb, but they're so comfortable. I mean, like, I could just not have a suspension. I could have rigid front, rigid back, and all I got is this seat, and I'd be happy. I'd be so happy. You put a girl in the back and she's just like in heaven. It's so big and fluffy and soft and comfortable back there. Put my visor down. What's nice about a bike like this, and this is a 750 Maxim. Apparently they made a bunch of different size Maxims. And don't call it a Maxima. It's not a Maxima. It's a Maxim. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's not even a thing. Alright, we're gonna... Some stinks. Oh, it's not in my helmet. The good thing about a bike like this is all of the power is at the top end. So you could buy a bike like this as your first bike, learn how to ride on it, and it idles good. I don't know, maybe turn down a little bit low, but all right, let's take this mountain up here. Let me show you what this thing's got. There we go. It really wakes up at the higher RPMs, which is great for a bike that, as someone like me who's been riding for a long time, I need that extra power. But for someone who maybe is a beginner, you can just hang around in those lower RPMs, and it's like an entry-level bike. You know what I mean? Right there, 3,000 RPMs, full throttle. It takes a little while to get up to speed a little bit. Another cool thing about this bike, and okay, these bikes are the perfect beginner bikes. I love seeing guys get bikes like this, because it's almost like a history book for riding motorcycles. You learn what they were doing with motorcycles back in the day, and then you also learn why they changed it in the future. Like the brakes on this bike, mediocre to not that great. I mean, they're decent. It's got dual calipers, but you gotta really, you know, you gotta really get on it for it to stop. I'll show you. We'll get up right here, up to the neutral. All right, let's try to stop before that white line. No! Okay, I couldn't do it. So you gotta learn how to stop. You gotta learn how to stop before hitting a car. You get to learn what happens when you run out of fuel, because this is carbureted, so it has the petcock. You get to learn that there's multiple settings on your petcock. You have on, you have some have prime. I don't know if this one has prime. You have on, you got prime. You have reserve, you have sometimes you off. And you get to learn that when your bike starts, you know, oh no, let me flip it to reserve. And then you're like, oh no, it's already on reserve. And then you just push your bike for 3 miles. That's all part of learning how to ride bike. And then when you get a fuel injected bike, you appreciate it. You're like, all right, I don't got to do that anymore. I got to look at my light. It tells me how much fuel I got. These are just kind of, it's a history book. It connects you to the riders before you. And it really is, it all just is part of the fun. You know, I remember, you know, having bikes like this, and when you don't take care of it, and you're walking home because you ran out of gas, because you were not prepared. And it makes riding the bike that much more. Oh! So for 1,500 bucks, you get into a reliable bike. The bike only has 18,000 miles. It's pretty low miles for this bike. It's like 500 miles a year. You get into a reliable bike that runs good. You get to learn the mechanics, learn how to ride a bike. You learn how to change your plugs. They're fairly accessible. Actually, very accessible. And it's comfortable. So I love when people buy bikes like this. You know, that's my first bike. That's what I did. Because one, I had no money. Super poor. Had no money. I mean, I didn't grow up in a poor family, but I myself was poor. You know, I bought my own vehicles. I myself had no money. So my first bike was something similar to this, but I paid like 700 bucks for it because it was way, way worse. You know what I mean? Needed new tires and stuff like that. It's fun, handles good, but you get to really learn how, you like to learn about motorcycles, you know, and that's what kind of takes you to the next level of just knowing stuff, instead of being that guy that just, I bought a brand new bike and all I know how to do is press the start button, you know. So I love these things. Guys, if you are looking to transport your bike, let's say you're buying a bike like this and you're looking to transport your bike, or your bike breaks down, or for whatever reason you need to put a bike on a trailer or your truck, or you're doing a track day or anything, going to Sturgis, you need to do what we do when we transport our bikes, and you need tank straps. Check out the link below. Tank straps, it's the only strap we trust. 10,000 pound brake strength webbing. They are the toughest straps out there, and it's kind of a unique way to tie it on your bike, but it's the only way that I trust. We've used them thousands of times for thousands of miles. All right, come on. This bike runs good. I think it'd be super fun for me and the guys to get a bunch of old bikes like this. Actually, check this out, guys. I want to hear what you guys think about this. I thought about doing a ride. I know you guys have all been bugging me, like, yo, Sean, we got to do a ride. Let's all do a big ride. We do a ride, like, let's say we start off with like down the East Coast, but everyone, it's kind of like 24 hours of lemons, or kind of like, you know, like a poor man's like Cannonball Run, or you know, like a poor man's Lap of Americas, where you have to ride a bike that you spent less than a certain amount for to do it. So then we have a bunch of guys riding a bunch of junky bikes like this, where you get to work on your bike before, you get to prep it, you know what I mean, tune it up, make sure it's running good, go on the trip. And I think that'd be so much fun, because people are bikes are breaking down, people are fixing stuff. I don't know, it just sounds super exciting, super fun. It'd be cool to see what kind of bikes people get for cheap money and what kind of bikes people pick. But I would love to have and just kind of modding them up for the trip, you know, as cheaply as you possibly can. That's where you really start getting creative and you see a lot of ingenuity, and I think that'd be really exciting. So I want to hear your feedback on that. Guys, here's the $1,500 bike. It is running great. I'll probably take it out a couple more times, but it really is a good ride, and this is the best way to start how to learn how to ride bikes. Also, it's an inline 4, fairly cheap to maintain. All right, guys, remember, it's not what you're riding, but where are you going. We'll see you guys later. What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles, and thanks for watching the video. Click here to subscribe, click here to see more content, and as always, check out the description box to see our latest inventory and our killer deals, to see how to win a free motorcycle, and also to see our latest bikes and beards gear. We'll see you guys later. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.